hot coffee is so satisfying when it's like brisk outside, especially in the morning. Oh my goodness, heaven. But anyway, hi guys, how are you? My name is Lucy. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but hi, my name is Lucy. So anyway, we will continue on later in the day. So if you haven't noticed, or if you didn't know, I am from a tiny town in Wyoming. I was recently living in a suburb of Salt Lake City, and just recent events happened, and I am now traveling full-time with my boyfriend and our 3 dogs. And so we wanted to renovate a van like 2 years ago, but it's just money and there's just a lot to it that we just, I guess, weren't ready to do. So, and just a matter of having the money to do it, and I just have a car that I am financing and it's just difficult. So here is how we discovered to travel on a budget with 3 dogs at a young age. So the first month was February, so we stayed outside of Moab, Utah. That one was actually more of a gift from Kevin's sister and her husband. Shantae and Matt were kind enough to help us out while we were waiting for my settlement money to come in and paychecks to come in. So they found this Airbnb outside of Moab, Utah, and because it was off season, it was decently inexpensive, about, I want to say around $500. I'm not exactly sure, but so this gave us an idea that so there are pet-friendly Airbnbs. And so we'll just back up a little bit. So if you don't know what Airbnb is, it basically stands for Air Bed and Breakfast. It started, I want to say, in 2007 or 2008, and it just started with, people just selling or renting their space, just like an air mattress, and I'm assuming they provided breakfast because, I'm assuming maybe they're sleeping in the living room, and I'd be that person to feed you if you stayed, at my house. I'm just assuming. So that's just kind of how it started out. So basically the Airbnb hosts can sell or rent their whole apartment or their home, their cabin, just a room. So there are different options. So the cheapest option would be like a hostel environment, so it'd be like sharing a room. And then you have a private room, so that's just going to be like a private room in like somebody's house. And so that's going to be, still cheaper than having a whole place to yourself. But on off season, that's when they are fairly inexpensive. And when you book, here's a trick. So like when you book for a month or more, you receive 10 to I want to say maybe 70% off. It's just a matter of who they are, and maybe you can even talk to them about if you wanted to stay even longer than that. Maybe they can work something out with you. So we discovered by doing this, you're saving money on rent. We went from spending about $1,400 on a 1-bedroom apartment to about $500-600 a month we had the birdhouse all to ourselves, and that had two bedrooms technically, and then the place we're in now is just like a studio cabin, and the place in North Carolina, I believe, it was like a 1-bedroom apartment, something like that, or maybe like another studio, and they're all really close to about $500, and they are all pet friendly. So there are filters. It's a lot easier if you download the app. So Airbnb has an app, and so you want to start out with picking the dates of your trip. I would recommend booking at least a month in advance. The more advanced you book it, the more options you will have, because they do go pretty quick, especially when it is during the season. So you can, pick how many guests you have. We have 2 guests, and then we pick our budget, and we usually put in about $600-700 just to give us more options to see what we, are looking at. Maybe we can even reach out to the host and see if they're willing to work with us. And you want to make sure, I always recommend putting kitchen, because you're going to be needing to make your own food. Refrigerator is important, obviously, if you're going to be making your own food, and preferably a washer and dryer. If not, it's not the end of the world, in my opinion, but it does help a lot, because we do spend a lot of money, honestly, and when we're doing them at like a laundromat or a washateria, because I guess depending on where you're from. So in these filters, you can also pick if you're looking for a whole place to yourself, if you're open to other options like sharing a room or a private room. You can just let them be, and I think it just gives you everything. You can pick what kind of house you're looking for, like a house, a cabin. They even have like igloo on there. I've seen RVs or RV hookups or tent or campsites is what I mean. Oh yeah, and that's also where you're going to pick pet friendly. And also you want to look at house rules to see if they have any, I think it's in the house rules. Maybe it's in another information thing where it'll tell you if there's any extra fees, if there's extra people, or if you have pets. And so we are saving money, also by not having to pay utilities or water, or power, we don't pay for any of that. And we also don't pay for toiletries or paper towels, stuff like that. There's shampoo and provided depending on where you're at. See. So you can get really picky if you're with your amenities if you want, but it is going to, you won't have as much stuff to look at. And some places even come with free Wi-Fi, Netflix, Hulu, or cable. The place we're staying at has free, the last place we had free Wi-Fi as well. We tried to look for free Wi-Fi. I would recommend looking for free Wi-Fi so that way you can make income online. So I can go ahead and jump into ways that I discovered to make income online. I'm sure there's tons of other ways that I haven't quite discovered or figured out yet. So one thing is, or a really popular one is, if you enjoy writing, you can write for a blog, you could write for a company's Facebook. There's so many things, just put yourself out there. So just like niche writing and gigs and stuff like that. There's also stuff or websites like Upwork. There's a ton of other websites that I found. I'm just going to go ahead and link them in the description. You can go ahead and check them out yourself and see what best suits you, what might interest you. Other things are user testing. So Kevin does user testing. He'll just keep his laptop open when we're inside and little tests will pop up. So you're basically testing a website and giving them feedback on the website. But the only thing is it does need to be very quiet. And other things are like, if you're an artist, if you enjoy making crafts, you can make DIYs on YouTube. You could also make your crafts and sell them on like Etsy. I found other places for, if you make illustrations or paintings, like Society 6, Big Cartel are really big. I found some other ones that I personally haven't seen before. There's Turning Artist, Rise Art, Kitely. I can mention those in the description as well. We also have, if you're into photography, there's Adobe Photostock and Shutterstock. And there's also, if you look on Craigslist gigs, if you look up stuff in your area, that's another good thing. I see a lot of amateur photographers wanted other things as well. Some people might just need help raking their yard, just simple things like that. And you can also reach out to people and see if there's anything that you can do. Like our landlord, Kevin, talked to him, and we are going to be doing some landscaping for him, just kind of taking care of the property while he does other things. Crazy story, our landlord is a comedian ventriloquist, and I just thought that was really cool. He's a pretty cool guy. We found some of his videos. He's kind of funny. And we took care of his chickens and his dogs because we forgot to, this is where we kind of messed up. We didn't look at the house rules. It's a matter of we needed to let him know, get like pre-approved of the dogs, and we didn't know that. We just, assumed pet friendly. So we ended up having to bring that up last minute, and we ended up taking care of his one-eyed chihuahua as well, so that was pretty neat. I just got a lot of word vomit because I'm just so excited because I have so much stuff I need to say. So you can start traveling with, if you're 2 people, you can start traveling with $2,000, so I guess that's like $1,000 per person. So I broke it down. I'm not the best at math, so I just made it super basic and just kind of went off of what we're spending for 2 people and 3 dogs. So I estimated just approximately $1,000, $500 a month to book your first month and your second month. So I recommend, booking 2 months out, so that way you are secure on, where you're living. And then we spend about $200 on car insurance for 2 cars and about $80 for 2 phones for a phone bill. And then I just kind of estimated high for dog food. I said about $70 for dog food. We price match on Chewy, PetSmart, and I think Petco might. I'm not sure if Petco does price match with Chewy, but I know PetSmart does, and coupons are amazing as well. So, and then I estimate about $150 in gas, and I would recommend having a vehicle that is at least 30 miles per gallon, so that way you're not spending all of your money in gas. And it is so smoky. I think there might be a fire. I can't handle the smoke. I don't know why it's so smoky. That's really worrisome. Unless someone just has a campfire going on, a huge campfire, I don't know. So then that's going to add up to about $1,800, and you'll have about $200 left over. And that's, on a really tight budget. Or here are some tips and advice. So I'd recommend starting a routine, waking up early and just basically having a routine so that way you aren't like wasting time. I have caught myself, it'll be 12 o'clock and we're finally eating breakfast and we haven't done anything. That happened, a handful of days, and it doesn't feel good, basically, for me. And basically, you want to accumulate your necessities. You want to be as minimal as possible. Just downsize. Bring the basics we have. We downsized our clothes a lot. And Kevin has his music stuff, and I have my art stuff, and then we have our dog stuff. It's pretty much what we have. And so you want to meal plan. You want to buy in bulk. Like rice, beans, potatoes, eggs, oats, stuff like that is really inexpensive, and you can buy it in bulk. And beans, I mean like dried beans. So you're going to be cooking a lot. I wouldn't recommend going out often or much. I'd recommend planning out your trip. You want to have a A, B, C, and even a D plan, because you're going to want to expect the unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen. And I already mentioned this earlier, book your Airbnb at least 1 month in advance. And you're going to want to learn to adapt. Like I said, expect the unexpected. Like, we're having to take showers and use this toilet in the next house over because the pipe broke from, like, roots in our cabin. So it's just, expect the unexpected. Excuse me. And then, last but not least, live in the moment. So that way you're actually enjoying your experience. I'm really bad at not living in the moment, and I'm just really shy and afraid of people. And I realize that I'm just afraid of people because I'm afraid of rejection. And I think this relates to a lot of people. I'm learning to just put myself out there and just say hi to people. Basically, that's it. I did make some friends on our way to Arkansas, so that was really neat. They're all older people, but I made friends. Oh yeah, I forgot. Check the weather in advance, especially if you are planning on hiking or camping and stuff. You want to check the weather like days, weeks in advance, and just keep an eye on the weather because you never know what's gonna happen. Again, expect the unexpected. I believe that is. It's really bad out here. I believe that is everything. I wanted to say the sun is just in my face. Yeah, that is everything I wanted to say. I hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below. If you follow me on Instagram, you can shoot me a message. I am more than open to answer any questions relating to traveling on a budget with your dogs. I want to make more videos on traveling with your dogs and just what we're experiencing and give any other tips and advice that I can give you guys because I don't find many of those videos. It is difficult traveling with dogs. It's not impossible though. Okay, I wanted to say goodbye, beautiful sunflowers.